Most seniors don't realize they've made these cruise mistakes until they're already on board. It's not because they're reckless, it's because they are preparing for a version of cruising that no longer exists. Policies have changed, boarding procedures have changed, medical rules have changed. And the habits many seniors still rely on quietly work against them now. These aren't packing mistakes or booking errors. They're pre-cruise decisions that affect comfort, health, mobility, and peace of mind for the entire voyage. I'm breaking down 12 pre-cruise mistakes seniors wish they had known sooner. We're starting with the most common oversights, and ending with the one mistake that ruins more cruises than bad weather ever does. And wait until you see number 11, because that's the one error that can literally stop you at the pier and send you home before you even board. Number 1. Skipping online check-in until arrival at the port. Skipping online check-in feels harmless. After all, counters still exist, and staff still help. But in modern cruising, online check-in isn't about convenience, it's about priority. Cruise lines now assign boarding groups, arrival windows, and security flow based on who checks in early. Royal Caribbean and Celebrity now use arrival windows, where you select a specific 30-minute block to board. Seniors who wait until port arrival are typically placed in later groups, which means longer lines, fewer seating areas, and delayed cabin access. That delay affects more than boarding. It often determines dining reservations, onboard activity slots, and even muster scheduling. Operationally, ships are built to process thousands quickly, but only if passengers arrive pre-cleared. Walk-up check-ins slow the system, so those guests are pushed to the back of the flow. This mistake doesn't cancel a cruise, but it increases fatigue before the vacation even begins. Seniors often start day one already tired, frustrated, and rushed, all avoidable outcomes. Online check-in protects time, energy, and access. Skipping it trades comfort for unnecessary stress. Number 2. Choosing the wrong cabin location. Cabin selection is one of the most underestimated pre-cruise decisions seniors make. Price often drives the choice, but location determines daily comfort. A poorly placed cabin affects sleep, mobility, and energy from the first night onward. Cabins near elevators reduce walking but increase noise. Cabins midship reduce motion but may require longer corridors. Lower decks feel stable but limit natural light. Upper decks offer views but amplify movement. None are wrong, unless they conflict with personal needs. Operationally, ships are massive. Seniors who choose cabins far from dining rooms, theaters, or medical centers often underestimate how much walking is required, especially after port days. Others discover vibration, late-night noise, or overhead activity that disrupts sleep. This mistake doesn't announce itself immediately. It accumulates. Fatigue builds. Irritation rises. Rest becomes harder. A cabin isn't just a place to sleep. For seniors, it's a recovery zone. Choosing the wrong one quietly taxes every day that follows. Number 3. Overlooking onboard dining and dietary planning. Dining on a cruise ship looks effortless, but only if you plan ahead. Seniors who assume dietary needs can be handled once on board often discover limited options, long waits, or repeated meals that don't meet their health requirements. Cruise dining is increasingly reservation-based. Specialty restaurants fill early. Even main dining rooms now assign seating preferences and menu accommodations in advance. For seniors managing diabetes, low-sodium diets, allergies, or digestive sensitivities, waiting too long reduces flexibility. Operationally, ships provision food weeks in advance. Special requests flagged early are far easier to accommodate than last-minute changes. When dietary needs aren't registered, kitchens default to standard menus, not customized solutions. The result isn't a dramatic illness, it's gradual discomfort, low energy, blood sugar swings, and appetite fatigue by day 3 or 4. Dining affects stamina, mood, and enjoyment, especially for seniors. Planning meals before sailing isn't overthinking. It's protecting daily comfort on a ship where food rhythms shape the entire experience. Number 4. Booking flights that arrive the same day as the cruise. Same-day arrival flights look efficient until they fail. Seniors often choose them to save hotel costs or reduce travel days. Operationally, This is one of the highest risk pre-cruise decisions possible. Flights delay, weather shifts, crew timing changes. Even minor disruptions can cascade into missed embarkation. Cruise ships do not wait, and port departure deadlines are strict. In high-traffic hubs like Miami or Port Everglades, a simple 2-hour flight delay combined with tunnel traffic can turn a close call into a missed ship. For seniors, the risk is compounded by mobility needs, security delays, and fatigue. A delayed flight doesn't just compress time, it removes buffer. When something goes wrong, there is no recovery window. Cruise lines strongly recommend arriving at least 1 day early, not for convenience, but for risk management. Ports are unforgiving. Transportation issues are not considered valid reasons for late arrival. This mistake is especially painful because it feels preventable in hindsight. One extra night often protects thousands of dollars, weeks of anticipation, and peace of mind. Number 5. Not packing cruise-specific essentials. Many seniors pack for a cruise the same way they pack for a hotel stay, assuming the ship will provide whatever they forgot. In reality, cruise ships are controlled environments with limited onboard availability and inflated pricing. Items that seem minor at home can become daily frustrations at sea. Commonly overlooked essentials include slip-resistant shoes for wet decks, a lightweight jacket for cold interiors and windy open decks, a small day bag for excursions, and a lanyard or holder for the cruise card that's required constantly on board. Seniors also benefit from packing reading glasses backups, a refillable water bottle, sunscreen suitable for reflection off water, and basic comfort items like compression socks or a nightlight for unfamiliar cabins. When these items are missing, seniors adapt, but at a cost. Fatigue increases. Movement becomes cautious. Simple routines feel harder than they should. Crew frequently see passengers buying overpriced replacements on board or skipping activities entirely because they're uncomfortable or unprepared. Packing cruise-specific essentials isn't about overpacking. It's about removing friction from daily life so energy goes toward enjoyment, not problem-solving. Number 6. Underestimating seasickness and not preparing. Seniors often believe seasickness is something you either get or don't. In reality, susceptibility changes with age, medications, hydration levels, and cabin location. Passengers who never felt sick before are often surprised when symptoms appear on longer or rougher sailings. The mistake isn't experiencing seasickness, it's failing to prepare for it. Once nausea sets in, treatment becomes harder. Ship medical centers can help, but medications work best preventively. Cabin placement matters. Lower decks and midship locations experience less motion. Seniors who book higher or forward cabins without considering movement often regret it by day 2. Operationally, cruise lines expect passengers to self-manage mild seasickness. Supplies can sell out on board, and medical alternatives are limited. Preparation is simple. Bring medication, hydration strategies, ginger options, and rest plans. Seasickness doesn't ruin cruises, unpreparedness does. Seniors who plan for motion rarely need to think about it again. Number 7. Packing medications incorrectly. Seniors rarely forget medications, but they often pack them in ways that create risk. Checked luggage, unmarked pill organizers, mixed prescriptions, or missing original labels all create complications once on board. Cruise medical teams require clear identification of medications, dosages, and prescribing physicians. If a medical issue arises, unlabeled pills slow treatment. Some ports also restrict controlled substances, and medications without documentation can be confiscated during security screening. Another overlooked issue is environment. Cruise cabins fluctuate in temperature and humidity. Medications stored near windows or in bathrooms can degrade faster than expected. Motion and schedule changes also increase the chance of missed doses. Operationally, ships cannot replace most prescriptions at sea. If medication is lost, damaged, or confiscated, options are extremely limited. Proper packing isn't about paranoia. It's about continuity. Seniors who manage medications carefully cruise with confidence. Those who don't often spend the voyage anxious, rationing doses, or visiting medical centers unnecessarily. Number 8. Ignoring cruise travel insurance. This is one of the most dangerous assumptions seniors make before cruising. Medicare does not cover medical care outside the United States, and most cruise ships operate under foreign medical jurisdiction. Onboard medical visits are expensive. Evacuations can cost tens of thousands of dollars. Missed ports, flight changes, and early disembarkation add additional financial strain. I've seen medical bills from a single night in a ship's infirmary on Holland America or Princess exceed $3,000. But the real danger is evacuation. A helicopter medevac from a ship in the Caribbean can easily cost upwards of $50,000, a bill Medicare will not touch. From an operational perspective, cruise lines treat insurance as optional, but consequences are not. Seniors without coverage often delay seeking care, worsening outcomes. Others accept treatment but face shocking bills afterward. Travel insurance isn't about fear. It's about transfer of risk. Seniors are statistically more likely to need medical attention, mobility assistance, or itinerary changes, not because they're fragile, but because bodies are less forgiving. Ignoring insurance doesn't save money, it gambles it. And on a cruise, the house always wins. Number 9. Not planning shore excursions with mobility and energy in mind. Many seniors choose shore excursions based on interest alone, without fully considering how physical demand, duration, and pacing will affect them later in the day. On paper, an excursion may look manageable. In reality, it can involve long walks on uneven ground, extended standing, steep ramps, or hours away from seating and restrooms. What makes this mistake costly is timing. Excursions often happen early in the day, when energy feels high. The impact shows up later: fatigue during dinner, skipped evening shows, or needing recovery time the following day. On longer itineraries, repeated overexertion quietly compounds, reducing overall enjoyment of the cruise. Crew routinely observe seniors returning from excursions exhausted, dehydrated, or sore, not because the tour was poorly run, but because it wasn't matched to their physical rhythm. Choosing excursions with built-in rest, shorter durations, or transportation support preserves energy for the rest of the day. The goal isn't doing less. It's doing what allows you to enjoy the ship after you return. Number 10. Not arranging mobility assistance in advance. One of the most common pre-cruise mistakes seniors make is assuming mobility assistance can be handled casually on embarkation day. In reality, cruise terminals are large, crowded, and time-sensitive environments. Long walking distances, extended standing, and slow-moving lines are common, especially during peak boarding windows. Cruise lines offer mobility assistance, priority boarding, and terminal support, but these services are not automatic. They must be requested in advance. Princess or Holland America are excellent at handling prearranged wheelchair assistance, but they need the request 60 days out. When they're not, seniors often push themselves through physically demanding boarding processes, arriving on board already tired or uncomfortable. Pride plays a role here. Many passengers delay requesting help because they don't want to feel dependent. Crews see the outcome repeatedly: passengers who start their cruise stressed, sore, or overheated, all before the first meal. Arranging assistance early doesn't label you as limited. It gives you control. Pre-boarding support allows you to conserve energy, avoid unnecessary strain, and begin the cruise calmly. The difference between a smooth embarkation and a draining one is often a simple request made weeks earlier. Number 11. Not verifying passport and documentation rules by itinerary. Many seniors assume that if they've cruised before, their documents are still sufficient. That assumption causes more last-minute panic than almost any other pre-cruise mistake. Passport requirements vary by itinerary, not by cruise line, and Alaska, Canada, Caribbean, and European routes all follow different rules. Some itineraries allow closed-loop cruises with a valid government-issued ID. Others quietly require a passport with 6 months validity. Certain ports enforce rules even when the ship technically doesn't. Seniors often discover this only after arriving at the terminal. European itineraries, especially those visiting Greece or Italy, are strict about the 6-month validity rule. I've seen passengers barred from boarding a Norwegian or MSC cruise because their passport expired in 5 months, not 6. From an operational standpoint, port agents do not make exceptions. Documentation rules are enforced by border authorities, not cruise staff. If paperwork is incorrect, boarding simply stops. This mistake doesn't create inconvenience, it creates exclusion. Entire trips end before they begin, often with no refund. Verifying documents isn't about distrust. It's about alignment. The ship will sail whether you're on board or not, and documentation errors are one of the few mistakes that cannot be fixed at the port. Number 12. Leaving no recovery time before sailing. This is the most damaging pre-cruise mistake because it affects everything that follows. Seniors who travel long distances or cross time zones without recovery time arrive already exhausted before the cruise even begins. Fatigue weakens immunity, disrupts digestion, worsens seasickness, and increases fall risk. Embarkation day is demanding: standing, walking, paperwork, crowds, and safety drills. Doing all of that while depleted sets the tone for the entire voyage. If you are flying across the Atlantic to board a ship in Barcelona or Rome, the jet lag isn't just an inconvenience, it's a health risk. Arriving a day early isn't just a luxury, it's the only way to ensure your body is ready for the physical demands of embarkation day. Operationally, cruise days are front-loaded. Muster drills, dining schedules, and orientation happen immediately. There is no built-in recovery window. Seniors who arrive early, even by one day, board calmer, sleep better, and adapt faster. Those who don't often spend the first days recovering instead of enjoying. This mistake doesn't feel serious until day 3, when energy hasn't returned and small issues pile up. Cruises reward readiness. Rest before sailing isn't optional, it's foundational. Cruises don't become uncomfortable because something goes wrong at sea. They become uncomfortable because something was overlooked before sailing. The good news is this: every mistake we covered is preventable. None requires special skills, only awareness and a little advanced planning. When seniors prepare correctly, cruises become what they're meant to be: easy, restorative, and genuinely enjoyable, not something you have to push through. If you've cruised before, you may recognize a few of these mistakes in hindsight. If you're preparing for your next sailing, this knowledge gives you an advantage most passengers never have. If this helped you, share it with someone cruising soon. And if you want more calm, experience-based guidance, without sales pressure or exaggeration, consider subscribing. Because good cruises aren't about doing more. They're about avoiding the mistakes that quietly take comfort away. Until next time, take care and enjoy your cruise.